everyone. I would like to call this meeting to order. Thank you for joining us during our weekly hybrid Emirates breakfast meeting, and welcome all of you to come to our board in this beautiful morning. Happy August. My name is Pauline Lam from Kathryn Realty. I'm your August program chair. And right now I want to have David to help us to pledge of the allegiance. David, please stand. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. Now we will have our inspirational quote with Cosmo Sanchez. Cosmo, please welcome Cosmo.
All right, great to be with everyone today. Good morning. Oh, this is really loud, right? Okay, so I have a quote for you guys. It reads, there are only two ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle, and the other as though everything is a miracle, by Albert Einstein. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So wonderful message to us in this early morning. A few housekeeping tips. All participants will be muted upon entry to the Emirates breakfast meeting. And should you have a question or comment, please remember to enter it into the chat box. Today's agenda consists of our guest speaker, Kathryn Barger, Los Angeles County 5th District Supervisor, followed by our affiliate spotlight, Joseph Haggerty, Orange Coast title. Today, we will be changing the order of our program. We will begin with our guest speaker's presentation first. Now, please help me to welcome Karen Herrera, WSGVR Government Affairs Director. She will be introducing our guest speaker. Welcome, Karen.
Thank you, Pauline, and good morning, everyone. So great to be here in person with all of you. And it's a special treat to be able to introduce our 5th District Supervisor, Kathryn Barger. It is truly a pleasure. Kathryn was born and raised in the 5th District and comes from a family with deep roots in the San Gabriel Valley. She is also married to a retired sheriff's deputy and also lives in the San Gabriel Valley, of course. Dedicated to providing effective and responsive representation to the citizens of Los Angeles County, Kathryn began her career in public service as a college intern working in Michael Antonivich's office. And she served there, rose to become chief deputy in 2000, and she served in that particular position until she was actually elected to the Board of Supervisors in 2016. She has served as chair of the board and was reelected for her second term in 2020. Kathryn advocates strongly for services and programs to improve the quality of life, especially for foster children, seniors, veterans, those with disabilities, and mental illness. She's also extremely committed to keeping our neighborhoods and communities safe, working with federal and law enforcement leaders, as well as judicial officers, to implement vital public safety initiatives. She's also a real advocate for the environment and has spearheaded efforts to preserve open space, enhance parks and trails, and recreational programs and facilities within our county. With a strong sense of fiscal responsibility, Kathryn is also dedicated to providing vital county services while protecting the financial resources of our great county, and is a great steward of our taxpayer dollars. So with no further ado, I'm going to go ahead and introduce to you this morning Kathryn Barger, and she comes to us via hybrid virtually. Good morning, Kathryn.
Good morning, and thank you, Karen. It is such a pleasure to be with you all today, albeit virtual. I feel like this has kind of become the new norm, being able to do a hybrid model. I want to thank you for inviting me to speak about some of the latest issues in Los Angeles County related to housing, something that impacts each and every one of you. To begin, I'd like to give you an update on the eviction moratorium. As you all know, the county's eviction moratorium has now been in place for 29 months. At the onset of the pandemic, We took quick and decisive action to ensure that tenant protections were put in place as we suppressed the spread of COVID-19 and protected our residents. As chair of the board, I actually signed the executive order establishing the eviction moratorium, understanding that decision was necessary at that particular moment. However, as the county continues to take steps to recover from the pandemic, our actions today should align with the current reality. We have seen a significant decrease in the severity of the impact of COVID-19, especially considering lower hospitalization and death rates as vaccinations are readily available. Our economy has reopened and is reinvigorated. According to the Los Angeles Times, U.S. employers added 500,000 jobs to the job market despite an increasing inflation rate. The county has been proactively taking steps to utilize state and federal funding designated for emergency rent relief to help aid tenants in arrears and landlords who have missed out on 2 years worth of rental income. As of June 19, 2022, the state's COVID-19 rent relief program issued nearly $1 billion with a B dollars in emergency rental assistance to more than 75,000 households. This funding has been critical to help reimburse rental arrears, not only for tenants, but also for many landlords by helping to offset the tremendous financial burden placed on them due to the eviction protections. We have heard this firsthand through our rental property owner roundtable meetings designed to engage the landlords. Many of them share stories about the financial impact and the toll the pandemic has taken on their own families. To survive financially, some have had to leave their businesses entirely, and others have made the tough choice to move out of this state. This truly saddens me, especially as someone who's born and raised in California. These individuals have saved their whole lives to buy a rental unit to help them survive in their retirement, and are elderly people who use rental income to pay for their current care or are otherwise unable to stand resilient without this sorely needed income. To this day, my office receives hundreds of calls and emails from landlords across the county who have had to endure tenants who abuse the rights the county has put in place. I believe it is time for the Board of Supervisors to seriously evaluate our moratorium protections and conduct an honest review of its continued impacts to Los Angeles County property owners. That's why I passed a motion on June 28th to revisit the eviction moratorium. I'm grateful to share that a report back will be issued within the next week that will guide our steps forward. I'm asking the CEO and our county departments to continue working with our state and federal partners on relief efforts for both tenants and landlords. Notice how I always include landlords when I discuss this, because far too often they are left out of the discussion. Additionally, I've asked our departments to explore what actions other jurisdictions have taken to phase out their eviction moratoriums and have a comprehensive analysis on the impacts that followed. To help tenants currently impacted by debts accrued during the pandemic, I'm asking that we have our Department of Consumer and Business Affairs consider a program designed to help tenants budget and plan for debt repayment. Los Angeles County needs to have a sound exit plan in sight. I am strongly advocating for us to consider revisiting our phase-out timeline following this report back. Now, I'd like to shift gears to code enforcement. As you may be aware, our Department of Public Health, in collaboration with other key departments, was directed to draft an ordinance and develop a systemic code enforcement program for the unincorporated areas of the county. If this ordinance is adopted, it would result in additional fees and requirements for property owners and potentially real estate escrow program for violators similar to the city of Los Angeles. This is currently a working group meeting to discuss what a program would look like in the county. An interim report to share their progress is due this October. While I believe that tenants are entitled to a safe and habitable premises, I want to assure you that I intend to push for balance and common sense in our policymaking decisions. We will make every effort to ease the burden on our property owners, especially as we face an unprecedented number of regulations and financial impacts. Next, I'd like to take a moment to talk to you all about the Tenant Opportunity Purchase Act, better known as TOPA. The county is currently working with HR&A advisors to coordinate and schedule focus groups and county workshops to engage stakeholders on the development of the final TOPA report. HR&A is also conducting a review of existing TOPA models across the nation that will inform the recommended policy framework for the final report. Once this first phase of the development of the report is completed in September, HR&A will move into phase 2. There, they will work with the county to develop implementation strategies for funding, staffing, data tracking, and technical assistance. Lastly, I know you all want to touch on affordable housing in the area, and I've asked the Department of Regional Planning to search for any recent approvals for projects with affordable housing set-asides. The closest project in proximity to the area you all serve is in unincorporated East San Gabriel on Rosemead Boulevard, north of Longdon Avenue. My housing staff will send over more of the details separately to share with this group. This private development project includes a renovation of an existing rundown motel to build 193 apartment units with a 10% set aside for extremely low-income households. It is my understanding that this project was a by right or ministerial approval because of the project complies with the existing zone, land use regulations, and state housing laws. My office will continue to monitor the status of the affordable housing projects in and near your communities. I appreciate your interest and commitment to ensure we do more for our vulnerable populations. So with that, I know I want to allow time for you all to ask questions from the floor. So I will open it up to questions.
Okay, not seeing anything in the chat. First of all, before I mention any of the questions that I've prepared, what about the audience? Is there anyone here who would like to ask the supervisor a question? And if so, come right up to the microphone. Okay. Yes, I can ask on your behalf, certainly.
I'd like a little more information on what you're looking at on the sofa.
Great, that's a great follow-up question. So Supervisor Barger, yesterday was the first TOPA working group meeting. And I was able, and I'm thankful to you, I know especially your office work, to make sure that the realtor's voice is being heard. So yesterday we met with HR&R and they first started showing us the model that they were proposing for TOPA. And it's based on the Washington DC model, which is over 40 years old and has kind of a checkered past of success. Some of the things we mentioned to them is that their presentation to us really, again, just focused on the tenants and not the impact on the landlords, as well as it really didn't have any statistics on how the Washington DC model has really been successful for tenants who actually end up purchasing. So those were just kind of some of the initial things that the feedback we gave to the county yesterday. But maybe some of your additional thoughts on where you think TOPA might be going.
Yeah, thank you. And, I have some significant, and I emphasize significant concerns with TOPA as it will further complicate the home buying and selling process. The state has already made it very difficult to process these relatively simple real estate transactions. And I really do believe that adding an additional forced layer of time and regulatory hurdles is significantly concerning, which I'm sure to many of you as well. So I absolutely will not support TOPA applying to single family residents. I have pushed that any TOPA policy, if enacted, really must focus on large multi-family buildings, which are much more appropriate as far as I'm concerned, where really it is applicable. So that's going to be my stance moving forward. But I think it's important for you all to use your voice as well, because you all are the ones that are really going to have to live with whatever decisions are made.
Yeah, and I'm really appreciative that we're able to participate in this working group. One of the other things we did stress is because, and I want to make sure our association members know this, that it would add just, there's different benchmarks in a TOPA process. And the first one is a negotiation period, which could last up to 90 days.
Mhm.
Second phase is then allowing the tenant association group to be able to put together financing, which would be an additional 120 days. So one of the things that we really stressed yesterday to HR&R is we were so concerned about the mom and pop owners of small build, a duplex, a quadplex, what have you, a small apartment building. And we were also very concerned about families that were in distress that needed to sell a property quickly. A family going through a divorce, a family that had a recent death and couldn't continue to keep that property up. We are some of the things that we really stress, and we just want to make sure that those voices are being heard, because we certainly know that the county doesn't want to put any more stress on those types of families. Yeah, but yeah.
I would think, I'm feeling by a lot. But we never get it down to some other way.
Hold on for a second, Supervisor. We're going to have him ask in the microphone.
Okay, I feel on the tenant side a lot because the weak part. But some of the tenant, I have one personally, which spent a year and a half without refusing to pay the rent on a duplex. And the owner ended up to lose on the foreclosure.
Yes, and that's, I think, what the supervisor was talking about, but maybe she wants to address that a little bit more, that example.
She needs to unmute herself.
Can you unmute yourself? Supervisor? Can you hear now?
Yeah, okay,
Supervisor?
there. No, yeah, you all controlled it. That's very smart. I want to know how you all can control that. I want to do that with my board sometimes. But, I mean, I think if I understand it correctly, this has been such an imperfect process. In the county, there are about 119,161 rental units that, that are impacted by the moratorium. And I've heard firsthand from an individual yesterday who complained because his tenant has not paid for over 2 years and he knows factually received from the state about $38,000, of which he only gave $8,000, and he's still in the rears about $30,000 and is holding on to it. And then when this man tried to have him evicted based on that, he filed a complaint with the county stating that he was being unfairly evicted. So he picked the wrong person to do it to, because we are going to use him as an example. And we're going to find out if in fact the state did cut a check for $38,000 and he kept 30 of it and it was supposed to go to the landlord. That is fraud. And I want you all, if you hear of these stories, I want you to call either our office or call Consumer Affairs, because we are going to go after them. Because it is truly, to me, taking advantage of a system, and it is fraud. So I would encourage you all to be vigilant and let us know.
Thank you. And we do want to especially thank you too for your June 28th board meeting, where your item on reviewing eviction moratorium impacts, as you spoke to earlier. It's so nice to hear the landlord's voice also represented at the table with the county supervisors. We really appreciate that. Any more questions? Go ahead.
And
Sorry,
I appreciate
Supervisor.
that. I just really want to emphasize, Karen, to everybody, if you hear of individuals who have tenants who have benefited from the state program and are not in fact complying with providing to the landlord, and we need to know about it. But I'd also tell you that if landlords have the ability to opt in to get the check directly to them. They should be vigilant as well to make sure that if they can, that they get the reimbursement, not the tenant.
Correct. No, thank you. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'm seeing this is a question. If the tenants can have rental moratorium, why can't small landlords have a break from the banks to allow no mortgage payments till the moratorium is over? That's a question.
That's, well, I guess that's probably more common sense and that's logical. So there's no logic to some of the things that we've done post, and I say post-pandemic because while COVID is still here, and make no mistake, it is the variant that's out there is not COVID 2.5 years ago, and we have to learn to live with it right now. And so I truly do believe as the economy opened, we should have been scaling back and going back to a norm. But I think there are those that are opportunists that are using this that have wanted for a long time to do just what's being done now and are using it under the guise of COVID.
Thank you. Does anybody else have a question right now, or I have another one for her? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and ask this question. At the April 5th board meeting, the county voted to work with affected landlords, tenant groups, and others over the next 18 months to establish a rental housing habitability and rent escrow account program in LA County. That would become part of the existing county rental registry program, and it would effectively deal with the habitability of the estimated, as you mentioned, 119,161 rental units. I'm just wondering what the status of this working group is and this proposed program. Because of course, we too, as many of us as property owners, are concerned that, buildings are kept up and are safe for our tenants. But we're just curious what's going on with this particular working group, because as far as I know, I'm not sure if realtors are part of this working group.
Yeah, and I know it's taken quite a significant effort to get this program off the ground. While I agree that it's better to coordinate these efforts so that multiple agencies and departments are not working in silos, I, again, also have concerns about how this will be coordinated and, quite frankly, enforced. We anticipate that outreach for stakeholders, such as the advocacy groups, like who we're talking to today, to all of you, landlords, tenants, and others will start probably in late fall or early winter this year. And given the significant effort needed to corral all of the agencies involved, we are estimating about 18 months for this ordinance to come into effect. But there is an opportunity for you all to have an influence over what the specifics are going to be and play a role in that.
That would be great. And I'm just wondering if it is possible for our association, for example, or other of the 19 associations in LA County to possibly work with your office to be able to get a seat at the table with that working group, just like the county has invited us so graciously to participate on the TOPO working group.
Yeah, I think it's important, Karen, and I would argue that if you don't, then you all are missing an opportunity. So yeah, we'll coordinate with our office. You can coordinate with our office.
Great, thank you so much. And
Karen, just let me say, I understand that a lot of the individuals on here actually are not part of the 5th district. So I think if Supervisor Solis is your representative, you need to reach out to her and let her know that you want a seat at the table as well.
Yes, I will do that after this, because that is a very good point. Because like I said, I was just curious what's happening with that working group, because they've been so great about including the realtors and the apartment association on TOPA. And we will reach out because she does represent 4 of our 5 cities. And we do thank you for your representation of Temple City. Thank you so much. Yes,
I love my Temple City.
Areas.
Yeah, I love my Temple City.
Wonderful. We do too. Any other questions from our association members that are here? I'm not seeing any more in the chat. Yes. Okay, Supervisor, what's the target date for the Rosemead and Longden apartment complex completion? Do you happen to know that, or your office?
Well, it's so, we don't know. It's being appealed and there's a lot of concerns. But I want you all to understand that that this is an example of when the state passed the legislation that basically gave by right if you have affordable housing, a percentage, which by the way, quite frankly, is nothing. I mean, I think on this, how many, it's 163 units? 193 units. I think.
193.
193 units, I think the number of affordable units is minuscule compared to the size of the project. And 10% set aside for extremely low income households, which is nothing. I mean, to take away, to have a by rights that is going to completely change the configuration of that neighborhood for 10% of 193 is to me a slap in the face to local control, and not just in the unincorporated, but it's going to be impacting cities as well. Mark my word. So we're going to be really watching that very closely. But you know, they have a lot of work to do moving forward. So you're not going to see them breaking ground in the next 6 to 8 months.
Okay, thank you. All right, I am seeing no further questions. Oh, I have one more. Go ahead. Yes. Okay, that's a great, let's see if she, okay, yes. Supervisor, what do you think of SB 679 Camliger?
Oh, is that the
United Way.
is that the one that puts together a housing?
Yes.
Yes, a housing authority that would actually have taxing authority.
So
It would
here's
be
what I'll tell
another
you.
agency.
Here's what I'll tell you. Every time the state comes up with an idea for us to implement, it's an epic fail. And so, I mean, we've got the buy rights we just talked about on Rosemead. So what I would say is fix what's broken up in Sacramento and leave us alone. You know, we are trying to address the housing shortage. Our RENA numbers, you know, regional housing needs assessment is being done. We recognize we have to increase the number of housing units within LA County, within the Southern California region. But we don't need the state dictating to us, you know, things that quite frankly are just more bureaucratic baloney than they are really going to help us get to where we need to be. So I think that if you don't take from my answer, I think it means I don't support it.
We don't either.
Yeah. You know, I mean,
yeah,
every time the state sneezes, we get pneumonia. All right. My frustration is that, you know, I feel like they're trying to figure out ways to become relevant and, you know, work with us, and then you'll become relevant.
Definitely. Okay, and one of our members has another question. Hold on here. We're going to get the microphone to them.
About the eviction moratorium. How you can see, will it end December 31st or will it continue?
The eviction moratorium, do you see it continuing past December 31st?
So, I mean, and that's why, you know, what I said earlier, I'm pushing for an off ramp because I'm hearing horror stories about how the pendulum is swung, and now you've got individuals that are using this just to not pay rent, that are back to work, that are hiding behind it. And so, you know, that's to be determined. I hope that you all, again, for those cities that I don't represent, I hope that you will educate your supervisor, because I think it was a 4-1 vote. I think I was the only one that opposed. I would be helpful if you could educate the others as to why it has a negative impact on you know, just the overall economy, quite frankly. So, and I think
especially our mom and pop owners and our senior owners. Yes.
Yeah, so
very
I would
much.
ask that you educate the supervisor, other supervisors about that.
Well, we're definitely trying to meet with Supervisor Solis. We are working on that.
Good.
Okay. Any more questions? Okay, I think hearing that, again, Supervisor Barger, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much for having me, and have a great day, everybody. And please, you know, use your voice. It is powerful, especially as an organization, and educate. Because while we think we know everything, we don't. And so, you know, please feel free to educate us.
Thank you so much. And again, thank you for listening to us and for coming. And the invitation is always open to come back.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All righty. Well, that was wonderful. And I'm so glad we had the opportunity to bring her to you this morning, and you were able to ask her questions firsthand. about some of the issues that are facing our industry right now. And with that, I believe I'm handing it back over to Pauline. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Karen, and yeah, we will have a brilliant announcement later. And on behalf of the West and Gabriel Valley Road Trip, we would like to thank our guest speaker for her very informative presentation. Now we continue our agenda. A little about me. I'm Pauline Lam from Cotai Realty, and I have been working as a realtor since 2002, and I served with the industry almost 20 years. And I was born in Taiwan, moved to Hong Kong, and then immigrated to America in 1992. I have two beautiful girls, daughters, and they both musicians. One is pianist, the other is cellist. And I'm so happy. I'm a proud grandmother. I have 3 granddaughters, and they are living in Texas right now. Yeah. And please remember to join us weekly, as we will have our hybrid Emirates breakfast meeting every Thursday at 9 a.m. As always, this meeting is being recorded and will be available online on our YouTube channel, West San Gabriel Valley Realtor. Please remember to follow our WSGVR social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also watch all our pre-recorded videos on YouTube. Please join our text message group. For updates, text WSGVR to the number 888-304-4055. For the quick tip today, you may ask a question: can I remove images from a listing once it's in the closed, cancel, or expired status? If the listing is in a finalized status, closed, cancel, or expired, the Emirates will not remove any photographs or other historical data per California Civil Code Section 1088 and Section 11.8 of the CRMS rules and regulations. All information in the listing is important and necessary for the market analysis, appraisals, CMAs, etc. And the photo content helps all the MLS users understand the value of the property. You may ask the question: does the primary photograph need to be an image of the exterior structure of the property? The answer is no. Well, at least one photograph must be a substantial portion of the exterior of the property. It is not required to be posed as the primary photo. Just a reminder that to be eligible for today's drawings, you must be a WSGVR member. We will be having an attendance drawing, Amazon gift card drawing, and 50/50 raffle. Now, today, our affiliate spotlight will be brought to you by Affiliate Committee Chair Brandon Samansky and Vice Chair Joseph Wing. And now we welcome Joseph Haggerty. Joseph.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Joe Haggerty, or Joseph, whichever you prefer. Some people, hey, if you're really good to me, I'll let you call me Josh or Joey. Or so I'm with Orange Coast Title. I'm local in this area. I grew up in Alhambra. I'm a second generation Alhambra High School graduate. I have 2 kids. My older son is a 3rd generation Alhambra High School graduate, and my younger son is going to be a sophomore at Gabrielino. My older son is also in college. Just started college in Tokyo, Japan. So I'm very proud of him. I know he's doing really well. And so I also do have a life outside of work. I like to play basketball with my friends every week. I do a lot of gardening and home improvement. I love to cook. So you won't see me talking about restaurants so much. I'm almost always like cooking at home. Why would you work with me? You know, I've been in the industry, you know, for a fairly long amount of time, you know, but it's really the experience that I've had that I bring. You know, if you're listing a property, if you're selling a property, you know, I'm here to help you understand what to expect when you're in escrow. You know, go over what's affecting the property on title. I'm there every step of the way. 10 years ago, I was sitting on a title unit next to a title officer in the office, and I know what escrow officers and loan processors are asking for. So there, you know, sometimes I'm part of the team inside the office, even though I'm an outside rep. If you're working with buyers, I'm always here to like help you understand what they're going through. If you need help understanding like the property taxes, sometimes that makes the property unaffordable. If they don't understand something with the title and they're having trouble getting answers from the other title company, you know, I can help provide either reassurance or understanding to them. If you're not working with a buyer or a seller, I can help you with farming, with building your database. 15 years ago, I was a customer service manager for a title company, servicing like almost like 40 sales reps. So I understand, you know, all the data that's out there, what's available to you as agents to help, you know, grow your database, your farming. I also talk to consumers a lot. You know, if you have a person who just closed on title recently or a couple of years ago, and they're having some issues, I don't mind talking to consumers. I love talking to everybody, you know, involved in the real estate transaction. If they think they may have a title claim or they have some issue with their lender and they want to see what's going on in title, I help them, you know, understand that stuff, because it's all part of it, not just closing deals, but there's just a lot of service that we need to provide for our customers. So, you know, I hope you guys can, you know, if not use one of the other amazing title people we have in our association. If you give me a chance sometime, I would love to work with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Joe, for your sharing. And we now know we are not looking for you for the title service and then for asking some recipe for the cooking. We will now have our affiliate introduction for today. All affiliates present today, please come and line up at the front. And we would like to start meeting affiliates on the Zoom first. First is Mark Wu, Allstate Insurance. Mark?
Yes, good morning, everybody. Mark Wu with Allstate Insurance for your property insurance need. We're here to service your home, a condo HO6 and commercial insurance needs.
Judy Chang, 888 Capital Investment.
Good morning, this is Judy, Senior Loan Officer. We can close loan fast, and I'm here to serve you and speak Chinese and English. Stay cool.
Thank you, Judy. John Wax, Snap NHD.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Who's up?
You are.
Okay, great. I didn't hear. Sorry. I'm in the car. Good morning, everyone. John Wax with Snap NHD for all your NHD tax and environmental needs. 28 years in the business. Have a wonderful day. Happy August.
Thank you, John. And now we start with the affiliates live here. Nancy?
Good morning, Nancy Chan, Lawyers Title. Thank you so much for your friendship and support.
Good morning, Sage Gomes with my NHG. Have a great day.
Good morning, this is Teresa Lamb with Caribbean Title. Thank you and have a productive day.
Good morning, everyone. Chris Hahn with Gem Mortgage. Have an awesome day.
Long time no see. Yeah. Hi, my name is Lucia Tam, representing CareFam, Chinese American Real Estate Professionals Association. Have a great week. Good morning, everyone. Yolanda Martinez Arena, WFG National Title Company.
Please help me in expressing a very happy birthday and best wishes to Sandy Deja today. Happy birthday, Sandy.
Good morning once again, Joe Haggerty with Orange Coast Title. Thank you.
Good morning, this is Ken Shen with Transcover Lending. This is my first time here. Happy to meet everyone. Have a great day. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Brandon Savransky with First American NHD, and I just wanted to remind all of the affiliates that we have an affiliate meeting after at 10:30 today. We do have Zoom if you can't make it in person, but I look forward to seeing everyone and have a happy day.
Good morning, David Tran with Home Car Home Warranty Without a Mask. I want to congratulate all of you for attending the meeting today because I know there's an increase in number of attendance, not by counting heads, but by the $50 that I received. So the jackpot is a little bit higher than normal. And like every Thursday morning, miracle happened to someone. Good luck to you.
Thank you so much. And thank you all the affiliates for your greeting. And we see your happy face here. Please remember to support our affiliates with your transactions. We are happy to including open pitching to our virtual American breakfast meeting. A reminder, if you would like to pitch your listing, you must go to WSGVR.com. Click on open pitch, fill out the caravan request form, and submit it no later than Tuesday midnight of the week you want to pitch. Today, we have two listings featured. First, we have Paul Akita, REH Real Estate. Paul? Is Paul here?
He's on Zoom.
Paul,
I'm here
you are-
virtually. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, I'm sorry. I'm in the car on my way to the property. I'll be brief. Help me sell this property. It's a great home. 222 Hampton Terrace in Alhambra. It's on a hillside property. There isn't much of a backyard. There is a small patio area in the back. The sellers are very, very motivated. They need to relocate to go be closer to their parents, mom and dad, and the kids want to be closer to grandma and grandpa. So I'll be there today from 10 a.m. Till 2, and I have portos, potato balls, and guava and cheese pastries. Come and get one.
Great. And the next we have Nanette Henry from KW Executive.
Good morning, everyone. This opportunity to pitch my listings here. I'm looking for a buyer for Gilmore Park, Rancho area. So address of my listing, 3886 Grayburn Avenue. It consists of 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom. My seller is very motivated. They really need to go out of country. So we really need to sell this home. Anyone that has a buyer in that location, please feel free to reach out. Thank you so much. I'm sorry, listing price is 1,050,000. Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Nanette. Please support them for servant activities. Now, I would like to welcome our president, Brian Chang, to give us president message.
Good morning, everybody. It is a wonderful pleasure to be here. And I would like to bring you 2 great news that recent happening. On Tuesday at 7 p.m. our time, August 3rd, 9 a.m. Cambodia time, the Western Gilbert Valley Realtors and the Cambodia Valuers and Estate Agents Association has signed an MOU between us. And this is the 18th MOU our association has established with other associations outside of the United States. And this event was well attended by the NAR Global Ambassador to Cambodia, Vietnam, and Indonesia. His name is Yoshi Takeda, among with 20 other dignitaries from Cambodia and a lot of our own members, board of directors and committee members was online visit, as witnessing this event. And I want to give a great shout out to Tom Zen and the Mauricio Capillo, the chair and the vice chair of the Global Business Committee. Without their effort, this would not have happened. Thank you very much. The second great news is our members hub has soft open as of today. Soft opening means it's only available during the regular office hours of our association office. Okay, and you will be shut down half an hour before closing time, so that association staff can go in and make sure everything is in order. However, during the business hours, you're all free to go over there, check it out, enjoy the facility. It is a member benefit for all of our members. Okay, thank you. I'm sorry? Cost? Oh my God, we're realtors. Nothing better than free. Yeah. It's free for our members during normal business hours. We're still working on licensing contracts for extended hour service with members who have to pay to use the facility after hours. However, during the regular office hours, this is a great place for you to meet your clients, meet your friends, meet your affiliates. Okay, thank you. Utilize it.
Thank you so much. Thank you for bringing the great news to all of us, and we can use the member hub freely during the office hours. And right now, I want to remind legislative committee member will have a meeting after this meeting. Thank you. Now it's our fun time. What is drawing, right? Right, attendance drawing first. Attendance drawing. All WSGVR members are included in attendance drawing. Not all can be displayed, but all are included. Top is how much? $725 today. If you don't get a winner, $25 will get added. One being right.
That was fast.
One being right. Anyone know one being right? Not here. Wow. And so next week, the pot will be $750. Yeah. Remember, join live or virtual, but you better come because we will have next drawing is for attendee live here. That is Amazon gift card. We have 3 winners select from the attending in person here. Each will receive a $25 Amazon gift card. First winner is Carlos Ruiz. Congratulations. And second winner is William Wade. Yeah. And the third winner is Winnie Tam, Co-Tile Realty. Congratulations, you're so lucky. Please make sure to participate in our education classes. A list of the upcoming classes is listed on your screen. First class is tomorrow. 45 DRE license renewal continuing education, August 5th, 9:30 to 12:30 p.m. Cost is more commercial investment property. It will happen next Tuesday, August 9th, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. CRMR's virtual training, code violations overview. It will be on next Wednesday, August 10th, 10 to 11 a.m. Learn to go savvy from home. On next Thursday, August 11th, 1 to 2 p.m. Thank you so much, and then take advantage to join this classes. Now it's our 50-50 raffle. Let me draw the lucky winner ticket. How much? $50. How much? $50. $50. 50 cents. Whoa, $50. Lucky-
Yeah.
The lucky winning ticket is 670.
Hey, I got you.
6 9 9 4 670. 6 9 9 4. Congratulations, Miriam. Thank you very much for support WSGVR Foundation for the 50-50 raffle.
Tracy, go take it to
Save
her.
the date
Take her to-
for our
green
inspection
top right here, that's a shrub.
on Friday. Save the date for our installation luncheon on Friday, December 2nd, 2022. Tickets go on sale today. Sponsorship opportunities available. Please call or email Berlin Barrios for the sponsorship. Please join us next week, August 11th, as we welcome Colin Powers from the California Association of Realtors. Once again, congratulations, WSGVR, for your 100 years. Thank you, everyone, for joining our meeting today. We want to see all of you next Thursday at 9 a.m. This meeting is now adjourned.